Hello, my name is Rachel, and I'm going to be talking about 1960s Beatnik fashion for women in England. So, Beatnik fashion, these are some major influences. Audrey Hepburn from Funny Face and Kim Novak in Bell Book and Candle. And the views are just the years of when those movies were released. So, like 1957 and 1958. And at the bottom are just more examples of what the beatnik fashion looked like. So what is the beatnik trend? The beatnik trend is basically a counterculture to the American dream rampant in the beat generation after World War I, and it was brought over to England because of that and also the Korean War. And so it was also the first time that youth culture had like a really big impact in fashion, and it wasn't just like the adults or like older people who had like a lot of money to be making these. So the staples and popularization of the trend. So it did start from the American dream, which is like buying a house, owning a car, and more, and also Korean War, World War One, and just the youth generation wanting to have their own cultures and like actually experience their youth that was like stolen from the war and all that. And also the main staples of the trend were cigarette pants as shown in the second picture from the left, and also berets, loafers like striped or ribbed stuff, and also love striped tops too. I don't think it's shown here. But anyways, the main color palette for this trend were black, brown, and also there were colors, but not much. So like just the really basic colors like navy, brown, blue, and also gray, and gray was the main color from black and white. How did this trend impact the fashion industry? It impacted really big, or just it had like a lasting stay because of Yves Saint Laurent's collection for Dior when he was still working there, branded the new look at Fashion Week, and is still referenced as like an iconic fashion show to this day. And Dior's like biggest fashion brand still is because of like Yves Saint Laurent's work for the new look. And also Beatnik really found like its footing and like in pop culture in the mainstream when Audrey Hepburn's Funny Face was released, and also James Dean and Marlon Brando's films, and also other trends that started from Beatnik, like the mod trend, which is sort of really similar to Beatnik but a little bit more colorful, and Bohemian that rose among like Beatnik fashion. They got some influences from the Beatnik trend too. The main influences for this culture for this trend is still like felt to this day, like FX's Love Story, and they were also on the cover of Town and Country's recent magazine cover, and CBK's Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and John F. Kennedy's Jr.'s Love Story. And just she also worked for Calvin Klein, which this is their fall 2026 collection. They had like a lot of blazers and stuff like that. So it's sort of similar to the beatnik fashion still, but little bit more masculine, which is what they were going for anyways in the past when it like first really started. And also Blair Waldorf in Gossip Girl, she referenced Audrey Hepburn a lot, especially Funny Face, but also especially Breakfast at Tiffany's. And Audrey Hepburn is still like a major like influence for women still to this day, even like US, London, just anywhere. If you say her name, people are gonna know. And there's even an AI ad that included her in an advertisement. I forgot what brand, I just know it went really popular. And also other brands that followed Beatnik fashion to this day still just like a little bit. Like their basics are like Prada and Miu Miu with like their schoolgirl stuff, like loafers and stuff like that. That's what they're most known for, so it's very like Beatnik fashion. And these are more works cited. Thank you very much.